So we finally know how the new endgame will look like in Genshin Impact. At the start we just thought it's a new abyss with limited things, but it's actually deeper than that and kind of more promising than I thought. So in this video I'm gonna explain everything that we're gonna expect in the next patch and how this will work. This video is sponsored by lootbar.gg. If you want to top up in Honkai Star Genshin with cheaper prices only using your UID, Lootbar is the best place. Because Lootbar is highly secure, fast, and has so many discounts. For example, if you want to buy 6k Genesis Crystal, you have to buy them for $100 in Genshin, but here you buy them for $85. Okay, currently there's more discounts and I'm going to buy some Jades in Honkai Star Rail just to prove it to you. The price is $50, but here I'm gonna buy it for $39, and after paying we're done. Okay, and I got him. So it was very fast, I got them in 2 minutes, and now I'm gonna get the Jades. We also got the double top up. Make sure to click on the link in the description if you wanna get more discounts. Anyway, back to the video. First, this new endgame content is mostly going to be in Mondstadt again, and you can access it from the Lisa library, and it will mostly have a relation with the Dainsleaf quest. Now for you to be prepared for my explanation, I wanna tell you, if you understand the simulated universe in Honkai Star Rail, and you also understand how the abyss in Wuthering Waves works, you will understand this easier. But it's not that complicated, to be honest, and yes, it took some things from these two. So this mode will change over the seasons, and it has 8 stages with different difficulties. The more you progress, the more difficult it becomes. It will have random monsters, but fixed bosses at stage 3, 6, and 8. This is basically like the simulated universe in Honkai Star Rail. You fight random mobs for some stages, and then in the stage number 3 you fight a boss, and then you repeat this again, and then you get a boss until you get to the last boss. And like the simulated universe, every time you will get cards. These cards are probably kinda different. Some cards can give you a new companion or new character, and this is kind of very important. It's more important than the simulated universe, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. You also can get a card with bonus HP, bonus damage like in the Abyss, or a mystery card, a very huge bonus probably, or something very negative depending on your luck. So there is no time limit to complete this, but the difference here is that if you complete it in a less time you will get some bonuses, but this is not confirmed or like very clear to me. But it doesn't end here. Let's talk about difficulties. First we will have 3 different difficulties, and these numbers can change. The first difficulty will be having 10 characters, 6 of them are active and 4 of them aren't. The second difficulty with 14 characters, 6 of them are active and the rest aren't. The third difficulty with 18 characters with 6 active and the rest aren't. Now what does active mean, you might ask? Now here's where they've taken some things from Wuthering Waves. You use only 4 characters as always from your 6 active characters. Every character does have some energy points. Every time you complete a stage, this character will lose 1 energy point. And when this character has 0 energy, it will be replaced by 1 random character from your inactive characters. And this have been introduced in an event in Fontaine before, and they probably were experimenting on it. But now let's talk about the addition that's kinda bad and good in the same time, which is the element restriction every season. Every season you will be able to use only 3 elements. For example, for one season you might use Dendro and Electro and Hydro, for example. That means that you will probably not be able to use Hu Tao, for example. But in the same time, when we're talking 3 elements, there is a lot of characters in this case, but they will also give you 6 characters that you must use if you want to play. If you don't have the characters, you can use them as trial characters, but you mostly will use yours if you have them. And these characters change every season, but they do get a buff, not only in the mode, but also in the whole game in the open world. So let's say that Arlecchino is now one of these characters. She will get an attack buff in this mode and also in the open world, which makes the open world also have different metas. But the problem is the open world is too easy. I like the idea that we're adding metas to the game and some characters will be better and get buffed over time, or not over time, but like sometimes in some seasons you will find some characters being better and more powerful. But the problem is, as I said, the open world is easy, so I don't know if they're planning in the future to, I'm coping right now, to make the open world have some new changes and some new endgame. Okay, I don't need to say that, bro. Let's stick to into the end game. So you're not super restricted with the elements. Every season you will have 4 characters that you can use that aren't from the respective elements that exist. So we have 3 elements and you will have a character from each restricted element. That this character is also restricted. I don't know why. I'm okay with probably restricting the elements and giving us 3, but restricting the characters that are not included in the elements is weird. To explain this, you will have a certain character, let's say for example Ganyu, that you can use in this season, and so you're forced to use Ganyu. You cannot use Ayaka, you know? It makes it kinda harder, not gonna lie. So they probably wanna make this mode always hard, I don't know. But this contradicts the last thing, which is also a good thing and a bad thing. It's mostly a good thing to be honest, which is you can use one character from your friend list. So if somebody is a whale in your friend list, you can use his C6 Raiden if you want. It will probably make it kinda easy, but in the same time you only have 2 energy per character, so you will use it in 2 stages. So that's basically how it works. And now let me talk about how this end game will be rotated. First, the normal Abyss will now give 800 Primo Gems. But instead of doing the Abyss twice a month, now you can do it once a month. But in the middle of waiting for it, you will get the new mode. This is basically what happened in Honkai Star Rail when they added Pure Fiction. It's the exact same rotation. And now instead of getting 1200 Primo Gems, you will get 1420 Primo Gems, which is ironically 20 Primo Gems less than Honkai Star Rail. Bro, I swear they're doing this on purpose so people can say that Genshin could never. But also clearing this for the first time will give you 1100 Primos. It's like clearing the Abyss for the first time too. And by the way, I said before that I don't like leaks, but this is kind of something that helps people to know if they wanna play Genshin in the next patch or not. And also for people to know what to expect. Maybe they didn't like this mode, so they're not gonna download the game again, or vice versa. Now, what do I think about this? Now, there is some good and bad in this mode. The good thing is they're finally taking some good things from Honkai Star Rail, and I kinda like the mode, to be honest, and I think it will be enjoyable for some time. I won't say that it's the best mode or very good mode until I try it, but also there are some problems. First, it's almost been 4 years, and now we're getting our second endgame content, where Honkai Star Rail will add its third endgame content, which is changing the simulated universe and potentially adding a 4th endgame content, and that's in the same patch. So here's the thing, if this went well, if people liked it, maybe they will add more. I'm coping again, I know, but it's too late. I already said that 2 months ago, that even if they add something now, it's too late, but I will try it and I will say it's good whenever it's good. The thing is, if I heard this 2 years ago, I would probably be so excited, but my excitement for Genshin went down by a whole lot. It went from one of my favorite games to a game that I care about and I make some content about sometimes. But also, this doesn't mean that this is not good to add new endgame content. I'm looking forward to it, and if they will continue to make something good, like HSR every 3 patches, which is very hard because we're on the 4th dry patch, it's insane. It's such a sad thing. I just saw that they added a new huge zone in Sumeru, which is almost as half of Mondstadt. It had probably 1 chest and 1 TP, and most people were criticizing it, and the sad thing is, people are still defending. It's insane. But in the same time, Wuthering Waves is coming, and I'm very excited for it because, to quote a great man,
it's a different photo.